Actor Judd Hirsch is up for an Oscar next month for his performance in Steven Spielberg's autobiographical film, The Fabelmans. He tells our Ben Mankiewicz it all began in Brooklyn as a kid with dreams worthy of the movies.
On a warm winter day, Judd Hirsch returned to Coney Island. The first time he was here, more than 80 years ago.
What's the same now?
There's only three things that are the same.
Yeah.
There's the cyclone.
Yeah, over there.
And there's the Wonder Wheel.
Right there.
And there's the parachute jump.
As a kid, Hirsch went on all the rides. But this is more than an amusement park to Hirsch. It's the place that changed his life.
If you look across the ocean, you could be anybody. You could be anybody if you walk on this boardwalk. All I knew was I didn't want to be what I was.
Who he was is a long way from who Judd Hirsch is now. 87 years old, he's perfected the art of turning the everyman into someone extraordinary.
You're here and you're alive. And don't tell me you don't feel that.
The only thing I'm going to do is be truthful. I'll play what I think is the most truthful thing about the character. That's all I can do.
That's rather presumptuous, don't you think?
It is, sir.
Whatever truth Hirsch finds in his characters is working. He's made his living as an actor for close to 60 years. A Tony Award winner on stage, a TV fixture for decades.
You just try to be honest.
Dear John,
Hi.
Numbers, and 2 lead actor Emmys as Alex Rieger in Taxi.
The difficult thing is to make people feel good about their lives. Humiliating them, that's simple. I'll show you how simple it is here. Take a look at this. Simple, huh?
During Taxi's run, Hirsch went Hollywood, working for director Robert Redford on Ordinary People, earning a Best Supporting Actor Oscar nomination.
Bad things happen even when people are careful.
42 years later, he's nominated again, this time for director Steven Spielberg in The Fabelmans.
Yeah. Believe me, Sammy boy, I get it. Family, art. It'll tear you in two.
The pride I took in being in this movie was greater than any that I've ever had to be in any other movie. I had to bring it, be him, all by myself.
He's been doing it by himself since the beginning. The son of European immigrants, Hirsch was born into poverty, bouncing from apartment to apartment in the Bronx, then Brooklyn.
We didn't have it easy. I mean, my mother and father split when I was 2. Didn't come back until 5 years later. So we lived in basements, furnished rooms, rooming houses.
At college, Hirsch was well on his way to becoming an engineer, just 1 semester to go. But his circuits weren't connecting.
So you're really nearly done, and you thought, I don't want to do this.
3.5 years to a 4-year degree, and dropped everything. It was like a little voice saying, "You want to be happy? Or do you want to be the same guy you've been all this time, right?"
That little voice pushed him to try something creative, to be an artist, a performer.
Nobody in my family came from the theater. Nobody in my family came from this industry. I didn't know what acting was. All I knew was if they convinced me that they could make me feel something, whether it's funny or, then I would love to know how they do that. How do they do that?
Hirsch dedicated himself to answering that question. He took acting classes, getting his first paying gig in the Broadway production of Barefoot in the Park.
When I got that job, I never stopped. That was in 1966, and to this day, I have never not worked in any year.
When you see a costume, jump.
Yes, Rose.
Hirsch landed some commercials. He had this comforting familiarity to him.
Good morning, TWA. Rose, I told you never to call me here.
The ads led to small parts in movies, and eventually a big break, an offer to be the voice of reason in a new television series about quirky New York cabbies. He had no interest in it.
My agent had said, "Do you want to do this?" And I read it, and I didn't really want to go to television. I make them an offer they can't accept.
What he said was, put my name before the show's title. They'd never go for it. Problem was, they did. Hirsch has fond memories of Taxi and its cast, including the legendarily, let's just say complicated, Andy Kaufman, who Hirsch simplifies in 5 words.
He was a sweet man.
This is a wonderful place to work. Thank you very much.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to play that part.
You wanted to play Locke?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Fast forward 4 decades. Thanks to Steven Spielberg, Hirsch got the chance to play an eccentric immigrant with a thick accent.
You see, what she got in her heart is what you got, what I got. Art. Like me, like you, I think, we're junkies. And art is our drug.
So Steven Spielberg calls me up and says, I need someone as this part of the guy who made me become a director. He said, it's an old uncle, great uncle. So I'm going, okay, no background, nothing.
With a blank canvas, Hirsch thought back to his days growing up under the shadow of the Wonder Wheel.
You're not going to describe this guy, and he expects that I'm going to be like him. Okay, let me take my experience and stick it in there. The only one I had was Coney Island.
And his experiences here as a boy helped him find Uncle Boris in the Fabelmans.
To me, this was the circus around the corner. It really was a circus. The part they played in Fabelmans, I think, brought the whole thing out.
No, sticking your head in the mouths of lions was balls. Making sure the lion don't eat my head. That is art.
You wanted to come back here. You wanted us to see this place.
I wanted to remember what made me choose somewhere to become an actor.
And you think it was here?
Yeah,
It started here?
it had to.
From a kid on the Cyclone to a second Oscar nomination, Judd Hirsch's road has been long, and there are still more miles to travel.
I'm just starting. If I want to do this, what's next? I mean, really, what's next?